Hey everyone, my name is Jenny and I'm in the middle of converting my Sprinter van. So as you can see, it's half finished, half not finished. So yesterday I installed this sink here. So as you can see, I cut a hole in the countertop and then carefully measured everything, obviously, and then applied some silicone to the border and plopped it in, and then now it's all sealed. So now I'm going to figure out the draining system, and what I'm thinking is I'd like to have a drain for the sink draining to the outside, and I'm also going to include a pee funnel. So I just want to do a little recap of where I'm at. So my sink drain is 1.5 inches. So when I went to the plumbing shop, I got my first piece here is 1.5 inches. And because the hose is 3/4 of an inch, I need an adapter. So I actually have 2 pieces here. So there's this little piece is actually the first adapter that slides right into the black part, and then the gray adapter helps me connect to the hose. So I've cut the hose now, it's about 4 or 5 inches, and now I'm gonna make the pee funnel. So what I'm gonna do is put the T-junction into this clear tube and then use these things, I forget what they're called, just to hold that on really tight and seal it so that nothing leaks out. And afterwards I'm going to cut another clear tube, and that's just going to be the pee funnel portion, and then I'll have another clear tube going downwards, and that I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom of the van so that can exit there. So first I'll slip this on to the clear tubing, and then insert this little copper T, and then to tighten these you just tighten the screw. So I've just cut the portion that I'm going to make the pee funnel. It's just about a foot, and so this is going to attach to my drain first. It kind of has a little bit of a downwards angle, so that way it's going to drain with gravity, obviously. And then the pee funnel is actually at a bit of a Y, so this way it's not going to just go back up into the drain, it's actually going to drain out with gravity as well. So this will be going to the ground, and this portion will be the pee funnel attachment. So next I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to attach this with one of these coils, and then next I'll cut another hose piece, and that will actually drain to the bottom of the van. So I've just cleared the area here, and I'm just estimating where this hole is going to go underneath my van so I can make sure that there's nothing important that I'm going to drill into. So I've just had a look underneath the van, and I think it's going to be in a good spot. So I'm all ready to drill the hole in my van. So what I've done is actually measured the floor length, and I've just got my measuring tape under here, and it's just gonna go to the spot where I want the hole. Since my cupboards are already installed, I can't drill from the top down, which would probably be preferable because then you can really pick out the spot you want your drain to go in. Also, you want to think about where your hosing is going to be. So my hose here is going to stick down right into this corner because you want to use your space efficiently. If you've got your drain coming like here, it's just not going to leave space for the stuff that you're going to have under your sink there. And I'm planning on having propane tank, my water jug, the water pump and everything, so I need to use my space really efficiently. So now I'm just gonna get underneath the van and start drilling. So I am under the van right and I've picked out my spot. So I think I'm gonna drill in here, made the measurements, so I'm gonna get going. So I've just drilled the hole through the floor, and it was actually a lot messier than I expected. So make sure you wear safety glasses because there was shards of little pieces of metal flying all over my face and all over my body. So just be prepared for that. Hey guys, sorry I didn't update you yesterday. I had a lot to do before I had to run off to work. So I'll just update you now what I did. So I ended up actually making another hole because that hole was actually not exactly where I wanted it to be. So I drilled another hole, and then I ran into some problems because the hole that I had made wasn't big enough for my 3/4 inch tubing. So rather than buying another drill bit for that job, which probably would have cost like $50 or $60 for one use, I decided to write on my local buy and sell, and I just asked if anyone had a drill bit that size that I'd be able to use for a few minutes. So someone replied to me, and I actually went to their house, and we drilled another hole, and then he helped me get the tubing up from the floor, which I realize now is like a two-person job, so I'm glad that he was willing to help me there. And so I'll show you this finished product now. So here's the tubing coming up from the cupboards, and I just put this clamp on here, so I think that looks pretty good. So here's my tubing going into the van, and there's my first hole. So it's just off by about three inches, but I want it to be good. So I'm onto my faucet and water pump system now. So I just bought this faucet on Amazon. It was $99, and so it comes with this, and it has all these little connecting pieces as well as the braided metal tubes here. So what I needed next was to go to the plumbing shop to get some adapters so that I could get to my hosing, which is going to connect to my water pump. So they didn't actually tell me what everything was called. They just started out for me. So if you take a screenshot, you might be able to take it into your local plumbing shop. But I got a T-junction here since I'm not actually going to have hot and cold. It's all going to be cold water. But if you don't plug this hole or have it connected, water's going to come up and come back out and leak out. So obviously you don't want that. So if you just plug this hole, that will work. But sometimes when you're doing hot water, nothing will come out. So it's better to have the T-junction, since this way water's going to come up any way that it's turned on. So that's why we chose that. So that's my first adapter. So this is actually just a connector piece. So it's flexible connector braided stainless steel. It's just a short one to go from my first adapter to my second adapter. And I needed this adapter to go into my 1/2 inch braided tubing. So that's all the pieces here. I'm gonna put that all together now, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all connected and underneath the sink. So now you can see I've got this flexible connector on next to the T-junction, and then I've got this little gray adapter which is screwed in here nice and tight to go to my flexible braided tubing, and I've got a little clamp there. So I've got my water pump and accumulator tank and strainer here mounted on the wall in the back of my van. I figure I put it in the back just to save on space in the front. And so the water pump is gonna make the water flow through the tubes, and the accumulator tank helps it flow smoothly rather than like which can happen. And I've also wired it, so it requires electricity. I've gone black to black, red to white, and all I did was just wrap them around. You twist them around, and then these are called wire nuts, and it creates a connection. So this is the other side of my pump that I just showed you. So I've just run it through my wall here, and I have it labeled to stay nice and organized. And I've just cut the white part of my wire to put in a kill switch. And you want to put a kill switch in because when your pump runs out of water, it's going to be constantly pumping to try to find the water, basically. So you need to put in a kill switch so you can shut that off so your water pump doesn't keep running after you've run out of water. And I forgot to mention, I have a special water pump and accumulator tank for RVs. So these ones won't get damaged if you do run out of water, whereas the ones in your house would. So these are SureFlow, and they run on 12 volts. So it's running from my deep cycle batteries here. From the kill switch, it's gonna come back to my fuse box. So after I wired the fuse box, I just put this little key in, which completes my circuit. It's my kill switch. And as soon as I did that, the pump started working and it filled the lines. And come over to test my faucet. Yay, it works! So excited. So here it is. I've got the faucet. It's running water now. If you look inside, I've got my drain working here, and I've got the P-funnel extension for emergencies, and this is coming from the faucet. I've got the braided connector, an adapter, my braided tubing. Follows to the back of my van where I've got my accumulator tank, my water pump, and my strainer coming to my water source. And this is wired DC to my AGM deep cycle batteries. So first it comes to a kill switch, which I've just cut the white wire, and then both my black and white go to my fuse box. And yeah, that completes the circuit. I hope my videos helped you. I've tried to take it step by step, exactly how I did everything. And if you have any questions, I'm definitely here to help answer those. I didn't know how to do any of this before I started, so if you just watch enough videos and do enough research, you can definitely do it yourself. Thank you guys. Have a good day.